Okay, hello. This video is not going to be in any particular order. It's going to be all over the place. And in fact, to try and keep it simple, I'm only going to show you one number jump. We have some interesting stuff, some interesting connections with, again, we're looking at Han Solo here. This is Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford. Okay, so we had the reference with the horse. Just recently with the Man from Uncle Horse, Napoleon Solo, and we were linking back with Han Solo, and also the Napoleon Solo was linking in with A View to a Kill, that film, and there was just a whole bunch of stuff. But anyway, Harrison Ford also does a little dam jump scene in The Fugitive, and he also blows up a dam in Force 10 from Navarone. There's a whole bunch of overlaps with little bits and pieces taken from films and characters that play roles in different that tie films together. But we're going to look at just a couple of heart shot bits and pieces, okay, with Harrison Ford. A couple of heart references that were just things that I just wanted to cover very quickly. This is The Force Awakens. Okay, the reboot of get another reboot of Star Wars stuff that they messed up. And this is Kylo Ren, Han Solo's son. And I don't know if it's necessarily a heart shot, okay, but it does it comes sort of low and comes out high. It could be a reference coming the opposite way if Donald Trump was to get shot. Who knows what the hell, but it's just this reference, okay? And the other reference with this is there's a nice little bell reference with this dude, because I'll show you in just a second, but there is a reference to the helmet and the bell are the same things, okay? It's the bell end, the end of the penis, okay? You might have seen articles reference that, okay? The one bell end giving another bell end a bell, okay, at the White House, okay. But so this is the idea. This is the head of the dick head, the bell end, okay. Right. So we've got this scene here where Harrison Ford is no longer going to be Han Solo. Solo is dying here, okay. Let's look at. We want to have a little look at this dude. Now, there's something interesting about this dude, and I always thought it was a bit. He's got a very interesting look about him. Okay, so if we go to Adam Driver, and again with the dam reference, okay, is pretty interesting. But if you look at him, here he is dressed up in his Marine uniform. He's got very large ears, or at least sticky outy ears. Okay. And he also has a nose that is quite interesting as well. Quite a thin looking guy here. And you know what this reminds me of with the ears? Is the other big ears guy that gives Donald Trump the bell, okay? The Trump bell. Big ears, and the nose has got this kind of knot in the middle of it, yeah? Okay, so they're very, although they don't look the same, they have features that reference each other, prominent features that reference each other. This sort of nose and the sticky out ears, yeah? This sort of nose and the sticky out ears, okay? So, I mean, what to say about it other than this is kind of interesting that we have Han Solo here getting killed by, and this is, so if this is Charles giving Donald Trump the bell, and don't forget that Harrison Ford has the birthday, the 7/13 birthday, has his ear pierced, yeah? Just interesting connections, right? I want to show you something here. This is the helmet that is taken off right at that scene. When that scene happens, he removes this bell end off of his head, okay? Okay, Kylo Ren takes this off so that Han Solo can see his son's face. Okay, the face of the sun. Okay, and so again, this is eclipse reference. This coming off of so we can see his sun again. This black, the monolith, the black pearl coming off of the head, the rebirth, the head popping out, the sun popping out of the tomb. And for a minute he's redeemed, and then in the background in that scene, the sun is covered up again, the actual sun that's in the background, and he falls back to the dark side and kills Harrison Ford. Okay, Han Solo. But this reminded me of Eyes Without a Face again. You know, we were looking at the Billy Idol reference in the last one, and what that tied into was the dollar bill. Let me go to the picture of it. I've just drawn in here the helmet. I don't know if it's not very good. Okay, but you can see, I guess I could redraw it in. You can see what I'm getting at. We've just got the eyes here, okay, and then they just come around like this, and then actually if you just draw around the top of this, the helmet, so this is all you're seeing with Kylo Ren, and of course they just put some bits coming on around, okay, and then there's this long piece here, the sort of bit that's round the mouth here. Eyes Without a Face with the helmet, the bell end, or the helmet right here. Okay, so again, just super duper interesting. I mean, they even, again, just, you know, I don't point this out in every video. I don't point out all the little bits. You've got to kind of be paying attention when I'm talking, because I don't point a lot of stuff out. Again, this actually forms an eye shape here, okay? And the other thing is, in A View to a Kill, the bomb shape there again is like this, okay? It is like this, okay? The shape of the bomb. Very similar stuff, okay? So we've got that helmet there, the top of the head, the top of the penis, and again the reference to the Vesca Pisces there, double reference to that. It's just all the same stuff over and over and over and over again. Okay, let's go back to this. So this also shows up, again, we were doing this with the Mandalorian. They make a point of the helmet. They make a point of the helmets in Back to Star Wars, okay? And we had the Mandalorian reference in, where would that be now? Ipet Go. We were looking at this with the Han Solo here. Han Solo. This was the Mandalorian one, but here's the Han Solo coming down, okay, on the bell end. Here's the bell, okay, and it's the helmet. It's the Star Wars helmet, okay. Again, very Star Wars-esque, this bell end helmet here, which is the top of the penis. Again, what is inside there? Man has imprisoned the Divine Feminine, which then in turn turns the Divine Feminine, the imprisonment or the abuse of that thing, yeah, turns it into what? The old whore, the old hag that is up here. Now notice the heart flashing on and off here for the heart shot. Okay, notice from above coming down and hitting the bell end. Donald Trump, the bell end. Here's the old hag. This is what happens to the Divine Feminine when it's abused. It turns into the old hag. Okay? Here's the heart flashing on and off, the heart shot. Okay? Remember, the heart itself as well is another Vesca Pisces reference there. And again, the idea of the erect penis, the white wedding, that thing going in there. Here's the I'll tell you what's funny, as I forgot to mention this in the last video as well. Justin Timberlake at the halftime show, what does he do? He exposes Janet Jackson's titty, okay? Before Oh, bloody hell. Charlie Kirk. Before Charlie Kirk got shot, not right before, but sometime before, he had the breast exposed to him, okay, by, I don't think she had blue eyes, but the blonde hair reference again. Yeah, so this whole thing with the old hag, and Madonna connections and everything else here, and yada yada yada, right? But that whole thing there with the heart shot, the hand solo from above, with the helmet there, the bell end, all of that stuff. And again, there's the completion of a cycle, bloodshed, which again is like the Hoover Dam breaking open, and the river of blood is the period, which is the Colorado River breaking from Lake Mead, breaking free again, and a completion of a cycle, okay? Which is in relation to the moon as well. Remember, the female cycle comes in waves that match up with moon cycle, right? Okay, what else do we have here? I'm not doing that guy right now. We're not going to do any number jumps, but on the topic of the heart, this is the Last Crusade. Notice that Harrison Ford, it would be better if it was a little bit further this way, but the hand on the heart idea here, and this is as he's going to take the leap of faith across the Golden Gate Bridge here. He throws the rocks across. It looks kind of goldeny, and this is the Golden Gate Bridge. The point of balance between the two sides of the canyon. Okay, it's walking across the top of the dam, but without any dam there anymore. Okay, and this is, you know, man on wire between the twin towers, Philippe Petit, all that good stuff, right? But he references heart before he goes and makes this leap. Okay, again, pretty interesting, because in the Temple of Doom, okay, and don't forget we've got in Diana, the Diana reference being inside Diana, and the Jones, the Welsh name, Jones, the one, John, Jones, the Princess of Wales. Notice we've got the blonde hair, maybe blue-eyed with her, who is the female character in the Temple of Doom here. Indiana Jones has just cut the rope bridge here. Okay, this is kind of funny because the other day I had a dream about it had a crocodile in it, right? It had a crocodile in it. Anyway, I hadn't even looked at this or thought about it or anything, but the crocodile reference in a dream, and I believe it could be to this. Here is the baddie, evil dude, okay, going after Indiana Jones's heart, okay, and this is what they do in the film. They remove the beating heart of. He does this with a few other characters, I think. Okay, at least one anyway. I know he pulls the heart out right in front of the guy's face. Okay, and then they plunge him down into the depths, into the magma. Okay, anyway, this ends up with this dude falling down. We've got the stones. This is kind of interesting with the Idaho reference, because these stones look a bit like potatoes that fall out of the bag. Okay, the sacred stones. We've got the archers in the scene. We've got the two sides of the canyon again. And we've got the crocodiles down here, eating everybody as they fall in. Okay, I don't think there was anything else I wanted to do in this. Here's the hot rocks. Okay, baked potatoes. Okay, and they're falling down. The beans. However you want to. And Jack's got to climb back up the beanstalk. Okay, here in a minute. The golden eggs, whatever, however you want to look at it, right? But anyway, I think we'll leave it there. They do tip over a big. It looks like an upside down. It's a big cauldron of water, and they have the water gushing. They do the scene through on the little mine carts. Again, at the end of not the right at the end, but you know, in A View to a Kill, they have the minecart come out with the bomb on it with Mayday. Oh dear, you can just tie these films back in on themselves so much. Okay, I think I'll leave it there because this is really what I wanted to show, was the fact that this dude from Star Wars, Adam, the damn reference, killing Han Solo with the shot, almost a shot through the heart there, I would say. And again, the heart reference here, the heart reference in this clip, going after the heart. Okay, let's see if we can get it on there. And then also the fact that this guy also looks like Prince Charles a little bit with the big ears and the nose situation. And then Charlie Boy giving Donald Trump the bell. Okay. Where's the hell? And this is the bell end scene here. Okay. Oh dear, damn. The bell end here. Okay, the helmet that has to come off of Kylo Ren coming out of the tomb. There's the last one with Doc and the bell going off. Okay, I think I've covered everything for this one. What was my number jump? Did we do the number jump? I can't remember. No, we didn't do the number jump. This is Adam Driver's birthday through to the release of that film. Okay, The Force Awakens. Okay, 11717, really nice with the 7-Eleven stuff and Diana, really nice number right on the surface, and lo and behold 1406 prime, Donald Trump's birthday numbers. Okay, I'm going to leave it there because there's no point in doing 50 million number jumps. The point is to show the connections here in certain positions of films and how they tie in with one another. Okay, on the bridge, we're coming up to 5/27, an interesting date, the Golden Gate Bridge. Could this happen on the Golden Gate Bridge anniversary? Could this be our big Golden Gate Bridge reference with Donald Trump getting shot in the heart on the Golden Gate Bridge day? You know, I mean, who knows? Literally from that last shooting all the way on, it's pretty much been pretty hot. Every single day has been pretty hot. Of course, we will be out of our 30-day window on the 27th. So I don't know about that, but it certainly is interesting, all this stuff. Oh dear, I just feel like I've missed something out of here. But yeah, you can see, you know, I don't know what else to say. Feel like I've missed something out of here, but the bell end reference. Okay, the bell end. Okay, thanks for watching. Right, cheers. Bye.